I became a fan, and he's just so much better than what he appears to be. Look what he looks.
You know what? We'll wait. So I was 16 and I'll come in the adult division. Yeah, with 100 kilos. That's how it started. And we've been doing great.
Rico is a fighting, that's all he ever knows. He's been doing it from being a baby. He's very highly driven. He's a good listener. You know, you rely on your team. The team is me and Dennis. Dennis Croyle's gym in Super Pro, Zevenberger. So we're there. Rico's been going there from the beginning.
Mike Tyson shares his thoughts from the viewpoint of someone who has experienced the immense pressure of boxing's biggest heavyweight stages. Drawing on that experience, he appears to show strong confidence in Rico Verhoeven, offering his support and suggesting that Verhoeven has the mindset needed as he prepares for a high-profile showdown with Oleksandr Usyk.
Mike, so when a super fight's announced like this, you've obviously been in many of these super fights before. How much pressure is it on a guy to deliver on the biggest stage?
Hey, listen, man. This is the biggest moment of your life. It's the moment we always dreamed of, being a super fighter. Every time I fight, the whole world is watching, and this is just a dream come true for both of the fighters, I believe. You know what I mean? Both of these guys came from nothing and they accomplished being heavyweight champion. You know, you have nothing to do but to respect that. I understand that. I had to.
Mike Tyson explains that he had never been completely sold on the idea of training fighters in the past, but says Rico Verhoeven's dedication during training camp changed his perspective. He praises Rico's discipline, resilience, and relentless work ethic, noting that the experience left a strong impression on him. Tyson also suggests that Rico is capable of testing him to his physical and mental limits, highlighting just how prepared he believes Rico is for the challenge against Oleksandr Usyk.
Never thought much of this training stuff, but I see I could push him, and I could.
He's not used to. I'm a kickboxer. Two worlds are colliding.
This is a serious physical monster. This is a guy who's one of the greatest kickboxers of all time.
Tony Bellew emphasizes that Rico Verhoeven is an exceptionally dangerous competitor under kickboxing rules, but believes the dynamics change completely in a boxing match. In his view, once Oleksandr Usyk finds his timing and settles into his rhythm, his experience and ring intelligence begin to take over. Bellew suggests that Usyk's ability to read opponents and make adjustments as the fight progresses could gradually shift the momentum, creating an increasingly difficult challenge for Rico.
With him. If this was a kickboxing match, I'm trying to tell you, Alexander's in an awful lot of trouble. Do not take a kick off him. Thankfully for Oleksandr Usyk, this is a boxing match. And I think once them first 3 or 4 rounds pass, and that awkwardness and stance and style Oleksandr Usyk figures out, I think Rico could be in for a hard night's work.
I mean, someone's saying it could change boxing forever if he wins, Rico. How does Rico go about trying to solve that puzzle of Usyk?
Be the greatest shock boxing's ever seen. If Rico Verhoeven is to defeat Oleksandr Usyk, it will be the greatest victory in boxing history.
And when I was young, I too using kickboxing, boxing, but I like.
Nobody told me that.
I like, but not like this. Yeah, the crazy man, you know, the legs.
Maybe he throws a high kick.
Yeah, but I like kick and legs on street. Oof, yeah, low kick, magiri. That's
nice.
Yeah, we training but then my coach, it's not kickboxing coach, it's like a jiu-jitsu, you know, wrestling, boxing is one coach, but another sport is like a crazy man. But then I look for a good coach. It's my first coach, Lapin Sergey. Yes, it's good. My father say, "Hey, try boxing." I say, "Okay."
And here you are.
Huh?
And here you are. You tried it and you've done well.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson appears to be offering Rico Verhoeven tactical advice on how to deal with Oleksandr Usyk's style, focusing on key areas such as timing, positioning, and applying effective pressure. The exchange suggests Tyson is playing an active role in Rico's preparation, helping him develop strategies to compete against Usyk's high-level boxing ability and experience inside the ring.
You don't need a rest. So keep going.
Max Kellerman praises Oleksandr Usyk's current form, describing him as being in outstanding physical and technical condition. He notes that there are no visible signs of decline and even suggests Usyk appears sharper and more complete than in previous performances. Kellerman's assessment reflects his belief that Usyk has entered the matchup fully prepared, highly disciplined, and performing at the highest level as he gets ready to face Rico Verhoeven.
Dude, he's so big now. Have you seen him? You seen the most recent photos? He put some photos on Instagram of him training, and he took pictures of him with his shirt off. And you're like, what? Jesus Christ. He looks like he's about 250 now, something like that. And he's a big giant dude. He's always been a big giant dude, but he's like super muscled.
Space. And I can see how the monetization vehicle of this works. But Usyk wouldn't be doing this unless there's a reason for it. There must be a motivation behind it. It must be some form of derivative as to what happened between the various disciplines crossing over with Ngannou.
Tony Bellew describes Rico Verhoeven as facing one of the toughest challenges in modern boxing. He points to Oleksandr Usyk's victories over elite heavyweight opponents, including Tyson Fury and Daniel Dubois, as evidence of the champion's dominance at the highest level. Bellew emphasizes that if Rico were able to defeat a fighter who many consider nearly unbeatable at his peak, it would stand as one of the most remarkable achievements of his career.
Dude, he's so big now. Have you seen him? You seen the most recent photos? He put some photos on Instagram of him training, and he took pictures of him with his shirt off. And you're like, what? Jesus Christ. He looks like he's about 250 now, something like that. And he's a big giant dude. He's always been a big giant dude, but he's like super.
Rico Verhoeven outlines his approach to fighting by describing himself as a patient and calculated striker who chooses his moments carefully rather than attacking recklessly. He explains that moving from kickboxing to boxing has required a shift in focus, placing greater emphasis on punch combinations, accuracy, and hand power instead of kicks. Rico also speaks enthusiastically about adapting to the new discipline, expressing confidence that his striking ability and experience will translate effectively inside the boxing ring.
I'm always very calculated, but yeah, when I connect, I connect. Like I said, there's a lot of weight behind these punches. So yeah, of course, within the kickboxing sport, I was used to just throwing the kicks and doing my thing, but now we get the opportunity to use the hands more. So Peter is like, oh, he's like crazy.
The speaker expresses strong doubts about the matchup, questioning the reasoning behind Oleksandr Usyk facing Rico Verhoeven, given Rico's limited experience in professional boxing. While acknowledging that crossover bouts have happened before, the speaker argues that Usyk represents a much more polished and technically complete boxer than many previous opponents in similar situations. From this perspective, the concern is that the contest may not be evenly matched, with Usyk entering as an elite, highly accomplished boxer, while Rico is still adapting to the demands and rules of top-level professional boxing.
This is not a fight I am a massive fan of, and now that I'm free, now that I can kind of, be more open about my opinions on this fight, I fucking hate this fight. I can't stand it. I understand the circus nature of it in terms of big name kickboxer, one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time, coming in to fight an all-time great in the boxing space in his sport. We saw it with Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury. The only difference there was, I think, more fans of Francis Ngannou, more of a what-if factor because of his...
Fabio Wardley shares a balanced view of the matchup, recognizing that Oleksandr Usyk has earned the right to choose his opponents while still questioning the sporting logic behind the contest. He points out that many fans were expecting Usyk to face another established professional boxer instead of a crossover opponent like Rico Verhoeven, whose background is primarily in kickboxing. Although Wardley respects Usyk's decision, he suggests that after this bout, the focus should return to facing the top contenders in the professional boxing division.
Dan, he's kind of earned the right to do what you want, but I at least expected it to be some sort of active boxer, someone of some... Not to say I don't actually know much about Verhoeven in terms of a kickboxer, of what his quality level is, but what I'm saying is I expected it to be someone of a decent caliber of a professional boxer. But if it's not, then fine. Look, do your thing, do you, and hopefully he returns to actual professional boxing against some of the top elites.
The speaker questions the decision to give Rico Verhoeven a chance to compete for a WBC heavyweight title, pointing to his limited professional boxing experience. In contrast, Oleksandr Usyk is presented as the undisputed heavyweight champion and one of the sport's most accomplished fighters. The main criticism is that, despite the enormous global interest surrounding the event, the matchup does not follow the traditional standards of merit usually expected for a world title opportunity.
This is a joke. This is nothing but a gimmick fight, and it's even more shameless considering the fact, one, it's on pay-per-view, and two, it's for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world. Does Rico Verhoeven, with his one win over a decade ago against the guy who was 0-5, deserve a world title shot? Answers on a postcard. Can you play the recorder? No. That's the answer. This is shocking. Shocking stuff from Oleksandr Usyk. This is Oleksandr Usyk picking money over leg.
Peter Fury explains that the matchup became possible because both Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven genuinely wanted to face each other. He describes them as true competitors who are always willing to test themselves against the toughest opposition available. According to Fury, when two elite athletes share the same competitive mindset and confidence, arranging a crossover bout becomes much more straightforward. He also suggests that challenges between top-level fighters from different combat sports are a natural outcome when both are eager to prove themselves on the biggest stage.
Rico wanted the fight, Usyk wanted it. They said both ultimate fighting men, aren't they? So fights like this are not going to be hard to make.
Dave Allen offers a personal assessment, recognizing Rico Verhoeven as one of the most accomplished kickboxers in the sport's history. Although he acknowledges that Rico possesses solid boxing skills, Allen argues that they are not enough to justify a bout against the world's top heavyweight boxer. In his opinion, the matchup is uneven in terms of competitive experience, suggesting it would be better suited as a high-profile exhibition than a genuine world-class championship contest.
So that's where the decision came from like, I think, we did it all within glory.
Okay, you had conquered the mountain multiple times, you fought them all, you beat them all. I can understand the desire to want something new. And so shortly thereafter, we start to hear, at least for me, the order was, all right, I remember finding out that you left on my way.
Rico Verhoeven reflects on his own legacy as a long-reigning champion in kickboxing while acknowledging Oleksandr Usyk as one of boxing's most technically gifted and accomplished fighters. He speaks with great respect for Usyk's achievements and views a potential matchup as the ultimate test of his career. For Rico, competing against a champion of Usyk's caliber would represent the perfect finishing touch to his journey in combat sports and a milestone unlike any other.
Wears down a little bit, but those early rounds, you've got to be very, very careful. For me, Tyson being out of the ring as long as he has, you go, that's a relatively dangerous opponent to come back to.
Yeah, I think Makhmudov's dangerous. I would describe him as dangerous. I wouldn't describe him as a world-class heavyweight.
Yeah.
He's dangerous. He's perfect for Tyson. Tyson Fury from 2 or 3 years ago.
Adedeo Aladipo reflects on Rico Verhoeven's remarkable legacy in kickboxing, explaining how he progressed from being known as the sports prince to earning recognition as its king.